Life expectancy fell for the U.S. white population in 2014, a change driven largely by women and increases in suicides, drug overdoses, and other related causes of death. That's the finding of a report out today from the Centers for Disease Control. WSJ Atlanta Bureau Chief Betsy McKay covers the CDC and joins us now to discuss. Hi, Betsy. Thanks for being with us.
Hi, Tanya. Thanks for having me.
So let's get this straight. The CDC says the life expectancy of white women fell to 81.1 years in 2014. That's down from 81.2 the year prior. What is contributing to this drop, and why is it happening primarily to white women?
Right. So that is the drop. It's pretty slight, but statistically significant, and it's driving. It drove a decrease. A drop in the life expectancy overall for white Americans, because it fell for men too, but not by a large enough amount to be reflected. So you know, this is an emerging question now. Everybody's starting to notice, you know, white women are dying at increasing rates. I mean, there were some studies out. There was one study out in November that talked about the rising mortality among middle-aged whites, both men and women. Women seem to be particularly affected because the rates of suicide and drug overdoses seem to be increasing in them, at least, you know, in the last year, more than men. Women are also affected by other, you know, big killer diseases, heart disease, cancer. They continue to be affected. The improvements are being offset by more for them by suicides, drug overdoses, and chronic liver disease, alcoholic liver disease. So it's a complex and pretty bad picture across the board.
Absolutely. Now, even with this drop, though, aren't white women among the groups that are living the longest?
Yes, that definitely has to be said. I mean, this doesn't, you know, white women have a very high life expectancy. You know, as you said, it's 81.1 years. Overall in the U.S., for all groups combined, life expectancy is 78.8 years. Women live longer than men, and white women live longer than African-American women. Hispanic women actually live longer than white women. You know, the other issue is that life expectancy, as I said, for all groups combined, is 78.8 years, and that number has stagnated for 3 years in a row.
And as you point out in your story, any reversals in life expectancy, even these small ones, are unusual in wealthy nations. Is that right?
That's right. You know, several countries, industrialized nations, have higher life expectancies than we do. Japan, European countries, Australia, and theirs have climbed. For any country, I mean, you know, the expectation when you live in a rich country is that medical care will continue to improve, your standard of living will continue to rise. This is something that we've gotten used to in this country. You know, in 1900, when they started measuring this, life expectancy was like 47 years, and it was 69 years, almost 70 years old in 1960. So we've been used to, you know, dramatic improvements in our life expectancy. For it to even stagnate is a sign for concern.
Absolutely. There is a little bit of good news here, though, correct? African-American men are living longer. Is significantly longer, or just a little bit?
It's about 0.4, 4/10 of a year. That's a pretty big jump. You know, again, medical care has improved. Treatment for diseases that affect African American men. Their life expectancy in 2014 was 72.2 years, and it climbed significantly. But look at where that is compared to the overall life expectancy of 78.8 years. So still room to grow.
So does all of this sobering news sort of suggest that the economic recovery that we've all heralded is not completely here?
You know, this is a matter of debate. You know, what is going on in this country that is causing these shifts? There are, you know, the CDC has a report coming out later this week about suicide that will look at suicides for the first 14 years of this century. It's clear that the economic recovery, I think most people would agree that the economic recession, economic troubles have had an impact on people's health. but they're still sorting out, exactly how and, what factors were most affected.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that analysis, Betsy McKay.
Thank you.